In the pursuit of personal well-being, the desire to smell good is a universal inclination. Fragrance becomes a form of self-expression, a subtle yet powerful means to boost confidence and leave a lasting impression. Whether through invigorating colognes or refreshing body sprays, the act of smelling good resonates as a simple pleasure, connecting individuals to a sense of cleanliness and allure. It's a small daily indulgence that brings joy and confidence to people's lives. 16-year-old Jonathan Capewell lost his life due to an excessive obsession with personal hygiene. Jonathan, hailing from Oldham, Greater Manchester, was found to have a shocking tenfold increase in the lethal levels of propane and butane in his bloodstream, substances commonly found in aerosol deodorants, serving as propellants that release the product in a fine mist. These hydrocarbon gases, due to their ability to exist in a liquefied state under pressure, facilitate the smooth and controlled dispensing of deodorant. Propane, with its quick vaporization, aids in the efficient spray mechanism, while butane contributes to the overall pressurization of the container. Jonathan's fixation on smelling good led him to douse his entire body in deodorant at least twice a day, creating a hazardous environment within the confines of his bedroom. Tragically, the gases accumulated over months, resulting in a heart attack that claimed his life. His father, Keith Capewell, expressed disbelief, recounting how the pervasive scent of deodorant even reached other parts of their home. "Even when we were in a room downstairs, we couldn't just smell it, we could taste it," he shared, emphasizing the high price his son paid for his hygiene obsession. The coroner clarified that Jonathan was not engaged in substance abuse, but rather succumbed to the unintended consequences of excessive deodorant use. His personal hygiene led him to use more than was normal in a confined space which limits ventilation. The coroner, Barry Williams, recorded a verdict of accidental death, shedding light on the unforeseen consequences of the teenager's relentless pursuit of freshness. Jonathan's mother, Louise, called for improved warnings on aerosol cans, urging companies to highlight the potential dangers alongside their enticing fragrances. "You just get up in the morning and spray it on, but who expects it to kill you?" she questioned, emphasizing the need for better consumer awareness. Jonathan's room bore witness to various brands of deodorant, including Lynx, Gillette, and Right Guard. Sue Rogers, representing the British Aerosol Manufacturing Association, expressed deep concern over the unprecedented nature of the incident and pledged urgent investigation. "The circumstances of Jonathan's death are so unusual that it is difficult for us to make a further comment. But clearly, we are a responsible industry, and we will look into it with the utmost urgency to ensure that everything possible is done to maintain good practice," she stated. Snoring, caused by the vibration of airway structures during sleep, is a common occurrence. Factors like anatomy, nasal issues, sleep position, and excess weight contribute to its prevalence. While occasional snoring is normal, persistent cases may indicate underlying problems. Consultation with a healthcare professional is recommended for evaluation and appropriate management. Knowledge Mark Gleason, wish he had known sooner. In an unusual twist, a 26-year-old man named Mark Gleason lost his life while attempting an unconventional solution for his persistent snoring. The incident took place in Haslemere, Surrey. Facing a discouraging prognosis from medical professionals regarding his snoring, Gleason and his girlfriend, Tracy Lambert, decided on a peculiar approach. He inserted tampons into his nostrils in an effort to stifle the disruptive nighttime noise. The decision was made after Gleason had some wine and took a few sleeping tablets. Their goal was to prevent disturbing the household with his snoring. Lambert left Gleason asleep on a sofa, only to discover the tragic outcome the following morning. her partner lifeless with tampons inserted into his nose. Gleason's mother, Vera, explained that her son's snoring was attributed to sinus issues resulting from a previous road accident. Despite seeking medical advice, Gleason had been informed that little could be done to alleviate his condition. Pathologist Dr. Peter Jackson revealed that Gleason's death on January 23rd was caused by asphyxiation, partly due to the tampons, with the sleeping tablets likely exacerbating his breathing difficulties. In a solemn conclusion, Coroner Michael Burgess recorded the verdict of accidental death. On the 2nd of April 2021, a disastrous and inconceivable incident took place. This event would drag a loving family's life into turbulence and become one of Ireland's most sorrowful events. In the intimate city of Dublin, where the streets are filled with vibrant art and historic buildings, lived a promising and cheerful 8-year-old named Luke Ramon Harper. Luke, despite being diagnosed with ADHD and autism, both neurological and developmental disorders, maintained a very happy and playful nature. On the sorrowful day of the 2nd of April, Luke had been playing in his bedroom and watching YouTube videos. As his mother was downstairs preparing dinner shortly before 5 p.m, she called Luke and his sister, Ella, to come and eat. However, to her surprise, Luke had not responded, and upstairs was unusually quiet. She went upstairs to find out why Luke wasn't coming down. She was shocked to discover Luke lying face down on the ground in an unresponsive state, with a balloon completely over his head. Luke's body was described as limp as she pulled the balloon off his face and took him outside to get some fresh air. Luke's father, Martin Harper, assisted her by giving Luke chest compressions while they waited for the ambulance to arrive. Ms. McSweeney recounted the heartbreaking sequence of events leading to the loss of her son during the inquest. She expressed that she sensed trouble as paramedics diligently worked on Luke in the garden, ultimately transporting him to the hospital via ambulance. While in the hospital, the devastating news arrived that Luke had suffered a cardiac arrest, and it became apparent that his brain had sustained severe damage, necessitating life support. Reflecting on the excruciating decision to say goodbye, Ms. McSweeney described taking mementos of Luke through his hair, handprint, and footprint. Luke passed away surrounded by his family, lying on his bed with his favorite blanket and teddy bear. The official pronouncement of his death occurred at 3:52 p.m. on April 2nd, 2021. In a heart-wrenching moment, Ms. McSweeney conveyed the overwhelming numbness, heartbreak, and unimaginable pain she experienced. Describing Luke as an excellent son, confident and full of love, she emphasized the profound loss. In response to queries from the coroner, Crona Gallagher, Ms. McSweeney clarified that Luke had always had helium balloons at his birthday parties, with no prior incidents or attempts to place a balloon over his head. She termed the tragedy a complete freak accident. Luke's father, Mr. Harper, remarked that Luke likely didn't realize the potential dangers of inhaling helium, believing he was simply attempting to re-inflate the balloon before losing consciousness. The post-mortem revealed Luke's cause of death, a lack of oxygen to the brain due to a cardiac arrest induced by inhaling helium from a partially deflated balloon. Dr. Gallagher noted the rapid and severe brain damage suffered by Luke, describing it as an insurmountable injury. While reluctant to make recommendations due to the unprecedented nature of the incident, Dr. Gallagher highlighted the dangers of helium, emphasizing that even a small amount could cause harm. She stressed the importance of awareness, but did not discourage the use of helium balloons at celebrations. Dr. Gallagher returned a verdict of accidental death, offering condolences to Luke's family. The grieving parents, speaking after the hearing, expressed their anxiety for other families to be aware of the potential danger of helium balloons, particularly with younger children, emphasizing the importance of proper disposal. The tragedy surrounding Thomas Anthony Mansfield's untimely death unfolded against the backdrop of a routine morning in Colwyn Bay. As a personal trainer and security guard, Mr. Mansfield was dedicated to maintaining a healthy lifestyle, typically limiting his daily coffee intake to a modest 2 cups. On the morning of January 5, 2021, Mr. Mansfield awaited the arrival of a packet of caffeine powder from Blackburn Distributions, a renowned UK-based sports supplement company. Little did he know that this ordinary delivery would culminate in a devastating misadventure. Armed with aspirations of a mid-range serving, Mr. Mansfield's fatal error lay in the use of a digital scale with a starting weight of 2 grams. This oversight led him to ingest a substantial amount of caffeine powder, far exceeding the recommended dosage of 60 to 300 ml twice a day. Shortly after consuming the pre-workout drink, Mr. Mansfield's health took a drastic turn. Experiencing chest pain, he sought refuge on the sofa, where he was soon discovered by his wife, Susanna. Panic set in as Mr. Mansfield began frothing at the mouth, prompting Susanna to urgently seek help from nearby neighbours and family. The swift arrival of an ambulance marked the beginning of resuscitation attempts, driven by Mr. Mansfield's grossly abnormal heart rhythm. Despite the valiant efforts of the emergency responders, the decision to cease resuscitation attempts came at 4 p.m., signalling the tragic end of a life that held promise and vitality. In the aftermath, Coroner John Gittins characterized Mr. Mansfield's death as a misadventure, acknowledging that it resulted from the unintended consequences of his own actions. However, amidst the sorrow, a glimmer of reassurance emerged. The coroner acknowledged the steps taken by Blackburn Distributions to prevent future tragedies, including the introduction of a scoop and an A4 instruction sheet in all new packets. The absence of these crucial measures at the time underscored the potentially life-saving role they might have played. The coroner emphasized that, while the instructions and warnings on the caffeine powder packet adhered to regulations, it still served as a reminder of the dangers that can accompany our daily routines. In the vibrant tapestry of Hollywood, the captivating presence of John Eric Hexum, an American actor and model, illuminated screens with his lead roles in TV series such as Voyagers and Cover Up. Born on November 5, 1957, in Englewood, New Jersey, Hexum's journey seamlessly intertwined academia and the allure of the entertainment industry. Following his graduation from Tenafly High School, Hexum embarked on an academic pursuit, initially studying biomedical engineering at Case Western Reserve University. Hexum's acclaim soared with the lead role in the 1982-1983 NBC TV series Voyagers, as Phineas Bogg, a former pirate turned time traveler. His star continued to rise as he shared the screen with Joan Collins in the made-for-television movie Making of a Male Model, and later took on the role of Mac Harper, an undercover CIA operative posing as a model, opposite Jennifer O'Neill in the CBS primetime series Cover Up in 1984. Tragically, on October 12, 1984, while filming the 7th episode of Cover Up, titled Golden Opportunity on the 20th Century Fox lot, Hexum's life took an unexpected turn. A scene required him to load cartridges into a .44 Magnum handgun, leading to a playful moment that culminated in him simulating Russian roulette with a blank cartridge. Unbeknownst to him, the explosive effect of the muzzle blast caused severe blunt force trauma. Fracturing a quarter-sized piece of his skull, rushed to Beverly Hills Medical Center, Hexum underwent a 5-hour surgery to address his critical injuries. Despite the medical efforts, he was declared brain dead on October 18, 1984, at the young age of 26. In a poignant gesture, his mother permitted the donation of his organs, including his heart, kidneys, and corneas, offering a glimmer of hope and life to those in need. Hexum's body was flown to San Francisco on life support, where his heart found a new home in a 36-year-old man at California Pacific Medical Center. His kidneys and corneas were also donated, providing the gift of life to recipients ranging from a critically ill 5-year-old boy to a 43-year-old grandmother who had waited 8 years for a kidney. The skin donation contributed to treating a 2-year-old boy with third-degree burns. After this selfless act, Hexum's body returned to Los Angeles, where he was cremated in Glendale, California. A private funeral was held, and his ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean near Malibu, as per his mother's wishes.
Mar Junko, a hard-working and ambitious 18-year-old, commenced on a new chapter of his life at a factory. Having joined the workforce merely 2 weeks ago, he found himself entangled in the intricate web of machinery that fueled the production of spicy chorizo. It was the morning of June the 22nd when misfortune entered his life. The factory hummed with the rhythmic sounds of production as Mar, driven by curiosity, attempted to reach something inside the machine. The machinery, however, was still in full swing. The consequences were catastrophic. Around 7:30 a.m., the factory's floor became the stage for a torturous incident. Mar was pulled into the ruthless gears of the machine. As he met a grievous end, his spiritless body remained undiscovered until 8 a.m., prompting the arrival of emergency services an hour later. Corporal Jennifer Espora, involved in the investigation, shared, "We asked his co-workers and the owner of the company, and they claimed he was alone in the working area when the incident occurred. It is possible that he was curious about the other machine, so he was looking around the other stations." As the narrative unfolded, Carl Davis Carlos, a former colleague of Mar's, shed some light on the possible sequence of the events. Mar, it seemed, had unwittingly ventured too close to the operating blades of the machine. The powerful 2-horsepower motor came to a halt midway, with half of Mar's body trapped inside. His colleague, quick to respond, managed to extricate him from the machine, emphasizing that Mar's designated station was in an entirely different room. Although Mar's body was recovered intact, the extraction process required technicians to partially disassemble the machine. Sadness hanged over the factory as the local authorities awaited autopsy results to unravel the mystery behind Mar's untimely demise. Funeral director R.D. Porras hinted at the possibility of suffocation, adding another layer to this sad event. The owner of the frozen foods company, Josela Jeleko, expressed deep regret, revealing that she had previously cautioned Mar against placing his hands inside the machine. In the quiet streets of the Turkish city of Erzurum, an unusual tale disclosed. Interlaced with desperation, a 24-year-old named Zafir Kuzu, sentenced to community service for an offence categorised as wounding, sought a bizarre escape from his fate. With a desire to sidestep the remaining duration of his sentence, Kuzu hatched a peculiar plan, enlisting the help of 2 friends identified as FY and FYT. He strapped 2 pillows to his back, convinced that this makeshift armour would shield him from the consequence of a shotgun blast. The trio, caught in a misguided endeavour, chose a shotgun as their tool for their attempted hospitalization. Unaware of the potential lethality at close range due to the spread of inner pellets within the casing, they believed the pillows would serve as a sufficient barrier against the penetrating force of the shotgun slugs. As the scene unfolded, one of Kuzu's friends fired the fatal shot at close range, seriously injuring Kuzu. Panic set in as his friends rushed him to a nearby hospital, but Kuzu died before they could leave the confines of their dwelling. The aftermath saw the arrival of law enforcement responding to the bizarre circumstances that led to the untimely demise. FYT and the alleged shooter, 18-year-old FY, were promptly arrested. The authorities seized the shotgun as evidence and dispatched Kuzu's body to the Forensic Medicine Institute in Istanbul for a detailed autopsy. In the aftermath of the incident, the two suspects underwent rigorous interrogations before being presented in court. FY was found guilty and remanded, while FYT secured release on bail.